guys, Howard here once again with another classic from the early Beatles catalog. This is You're Gonna Lose That Girl. And what I'm going to do with this one is just take you through the main rhythm guitar part, which I believe would be John Lennon's, and which is pretty much the song, right? And then at the end of this, I'll go ahead and do George Harrison's guitar solo for you as well, okay? So here we go. Let's walk out the chords first. The song starts out with the chorus, like a lot of Beatles tunes. Help, A Hard Day's Night, those tunes, they all start out with the chorus. And this song is no exception. So we have an E major chord. We've got a C sharp minor. Then we've got an F sharp minor. And then we've got a B7. And the best way to look at this is those are the chords for the chorus. For the verses, one chord gets changed, and it's that second one, that C sharp minor, changes to a G sharp major. That's the only difference. So the verse would be E, G sharp major, F sharp minor, and then B7, okay? So we start out with the chorus, and the strumming on this is pretty straightforward, just but you can vary it a little bit, of course. Lennon had a tendency to kind of strum into what he was singing, if you know what I mean. So if you got the lyrics in your head or the melody in your head, you can kind of do that. But for the most part, it's just a solid eighth note pattern. Play that one time. They open right up with the chorus, as I say, and then after you've played that one time, it goes to the verse. And for the verse, you're going to loop the chords around, the sequence around twice, but using that G sharp in place of the C sharp minor. It's back to the chorus again, and you do that all over again. So it's one time through the chorus, twice through the chord sequence for the verses, right? Now, when you get to the next chorus, just before it goes to the bridge, it's a little bit different at the end. We're going to have an E major. We'll have the C sharp minor, of course, F sharp minor, B7, and then we come back to the F sharp minor to a D major. So that's the difference in that particular chorus, and that brings us to the bridge, okay? So let me play that chorus with that extra little tag on it for you. Into the guitar solo. So again, that extra little tag is just returning to the F sharp minor and then going to a D major, and that brings us into the bridge. And the bridge is pretty straight ahead. It's just some basic chords. We move from G to C, back to G, start that sequence again, G, C to F. And that leads us into the guitar solo, which I'll talk about in a second. And you can see that I'm varying the strumming slightly. Just break it up, as I always say, get a little diversity in there, right? So it's not too repetitive or monotonous. You can see what happens on the guitar solo there. After we play that F chord, we move back to the E major, to the G sharp major, to the F sharp minor, to the B7, and that's what is played underneath the guitar solo. Now, after the guitar solo, they go back to the chorus, but they play it with that F sharp minor to D major tag on it, and they play the bridge again, what I consider the bridge. In any event, they play it twice. So you'll do exactly after the solo what you did before the solo, if you know what I mean. go into another verse, which of course is the E major to G sharp major, F sharp minor, B7. Those are all the parts of the song. But at the end of the song, they add an extra chord, okay? And it's going to be an A major, and I'll show you how that goes. So they close out the song with the chorus, but with that tag on the end again, that extra F sharp minor to D major. But then they add an A chord, and then they go to E, and they end it, okay? So that ending goes like this. Very Beatlesque, if you know what I mean. So when we come off of that last F sharp minor to D, so they just end it like that, and you can just use downstrokes for that. So that's the whole song, minus the guitar solo, of course. So let's get into that. Another little tasty tidbit from George Harrison, all right? So it's pretty easy to play, but I'll walk you through it with the tab up on the screen. It's really just a lot of bending, right? Okay, so we are on the 11th fret on the G string, and we want to do a full step bend, okay? Then catch the B string at the 12th fret. And that's the first thing you're going to do, and you're going to do that 4 times in a row. Then bend that 11th fret G string and release it just 1 time like that. Then you're going to bend it and release it again and go to the 9th fret. Then the 12th fret on the first E string, okay? And you can catch that with your pinky if you want as well, but I think it's okay to do it that way. Then move to the 14th fret on the B string, full step, bend and release, and then 2 picks at the 12th fret on the B string. That's the whole first phrase. The second phrase is very similar, it just has some extra bending in it, okay? So nice and slow, that whole first phrase is played like so. And then we're going to basically repeat that. We are going to repeat it with a couple of extra bends in there, and you can easily see where they're at. So you can see on the tab what I did. It's just some extra bending before you go to that 12th fret on the first E string. So there you go with You're Gonna Lose That Girl from the Beatles, including George's guitar solo. And it's a pretty easy song to play. As long as you've got a handle on your bar chords, you're going to be good to go on this one, okay? So I hope you enjoyed it. All the best to everyone as always. Peace and be happy. See you soon.